Good morning, students. Today we will be going to study about the project planning. That is the fifth module. In that we will be going to cover software pricing, plan-driven development, project scheduling, and estimation techniques. So whenever we will be going to make any projects, that time, so all these things are very plays a very important role in the execution of the project. So first is software pricing. So before that, when we going for the project software pricing, we must know that how the plan is going to be get executed for this any projects. So the project planning, it is going to have a breaking of parts of the system, and it should be given to the members to get the solutions. Okay. So problem is going to be divided into number of parts, and it should be given to the developers to develop that particular product, and it is getting created by the startup of the project at the beginning only, that we will be going to create. So we should have some meetings like communication between the works and how the team members and customers that they will be going to react on this. That will be schedule the things, and it must be in the form of communication, which it helps to assess the progress of the project. There are so many stages are there. In the beginning there is a proposal stage, and during the project startup there is another stage is there. Then periodically we will going to go through with the project. So when in the proposal stage, only the bidding will be there. The contract is going to be given to whom and all this thing, that it is going to be discussed in that. Then during the project startup phase, the plan of the project and how that it should proceed. Okay, what are the resources that it is going to be there for this project, and across the company, that it should be the resources and all these things are going to be finalized. These things are going to be comes under the project startup phase. Then the periodical throughput. So to get this one, so there is a reviews will be there, and as well as throughputs will be there. Okay, so step by step developments, there's incremental development will be going to call that. Okay, those things are going to be there in every week, so that they have to provide for this planning stage. So we'll be going to give all the information towards that. So how that progress is going to be get calculated, how much that it is completed, all these things are going to be knowing at the planning stage. So we will be going to give some proposals for the planning. So, okay, so here in the first stage, there is only the software requirements. It gives only the outlines of the software requirement that it is going to be given. Then another thing is that when proposals will be given, which type of project software that will be going to use it, tools they will be going to use it, and the pricing of that also going to be. So proposal, this is a plan, it is going to be given for all these things. Then finally we must understand that estimating of the our software, the cost. So it depends upon the development, then staff cost, hardware, software, and even unforeseen costs will be there. So those things also comes into the picture. Those things, everything that it should be planned and it should be given. Proposal should be given. So when we have this project at the startup stage, so here the systems requirements, this is the first thing, system requirements, and the implementation of the project, that should be discussed, and how the plan is going to be get executed, the decisions and budgeting, staffing. Whenever we call, especially in this particular chapter, we'll be going to discuss only about the budget, staffing, and the execution and reviews, then planning of the product, then breaking of that product complexity into the simple things. Only those things are going to be discussed, and as well as the methodology that which you will be going to use for that also it is going to be discussed in this. So here there is what it is saying that whenever you are going to plan, you should some decisions are going to be taken about the budget and as well as staffing. If the staff is going to be more, the cost of that project is going to be increases. So it is always a win-win situation, so that you have to calculate and you have to provide for that. And also the plan when you are going to do this startup plans. Okay, so the resources, allowable resources, which is going to be you can easily get, those things are going to be allocated to the projects. In the case of a development plan, next stage it is in this. So in the development plan, regularly the amendments, or we can say that the communications which is going to happen to that project, the progress of the project, that has to be get recorded, and every moment the previous one that you should be checked, and you should go ahead with the things. Then in this you'll come to know about that how the project is moving forward, and scheduling is going to be there. Then the cost estimate, one of the important thing here, cost estimate that is going to get calculated by using this time and the time duration as well as the progress, how that it is done. So based on that it can be get calculated. Now these are the pre-planning of the project executions. Now we are going towards the software pricing. Okay, so what happens in this software pricing? First, pricing, when it comes, the cost is going to be involved in this. Okay, discover the cost to developer producing the software systems. So in this, what are things that it comes? You can consider in this hardware, software, travel, training, and effort costs. What are those? Hardware, software, travel, training, cost. Hardware is nothing but for that particular project, how much hardware, how many computers are required, okay, any networking concepts and networking tools are going to be present for that. So those things are going to be get calculated. Software, which application language that you are going to use it, what is the cost of that is going to be. And traveling, so when one point to another point that you travel for the demonstration and all these things, that also it is going to be considered. Then training, once the project is going to be there in your hand, so that should be trained to the customer. Without that they cannot able to use that particular product. Okay, then and the effort costs, how much time, duration time that the project has been, you people have been worked, okay, man hours they will be going to call it as. So those things are going to get calculated in this. These are the pricing concepts it is going to be. Okay, and some development costs are going to be there. Okay, so unforeseen charges will be there, so those things also going to be put on to the customer. Then apart from this, organizations will be going to have the political and business considerations, influences for the price charged. So even it is when we say simple things, it is not so simple. All these things are going to be, if you are not going to add these costs, that is political influences, business and all these things, if you are not going to add, if you are neck to neck, if you are going to the pricing, then we will be under the loss. So all these things are unforeseen things it is going to be. Okay, those things it has to be get added to the software. What are the factors it is going to affect for the